Hello, welcome to Newark. I apologize for walking in front of the camera. One day I'm going to be a big boy and learn how to edit videos. But editing is not always my biggest skill. The more videos you watch of me chatting, you'll understand that I don't edit anything. My friends wish I did because I can talk and talk and talk. Eventually I make a point. But so I'm on a 24-hour layover in, where am I? Newark. I'm having a wonderful time. Today has been the kind of day that makes me really love the fact that I'm a flight attendant. Almost every day, I just love my job. But this has just been the nicest trip. We left Las Vegas last night. We got to Newark about 4:30 this morning. The flight was really quite nice, very, very easy. We had a newlywed couple on board. It was a red eye, so most people fell asleep. But one of the situations you'll run into if you're becoming a flight attendant is that really unhappy guest. This woman came on board, lovely, older woman, really beautifully done hair, great makeup, dressed to the nines. She looked amazing. She came on board and I said, hey, hi, welcome aboard. Merry Christmas or Happy Monday if you don't, not celebrating Christmas. And she's like, I'm a disgruntled customer. I am very upset. I'm so unhappy. And she went on and on, describing how displeased she was because she spent a lot of money for that seat that she was in. It was an emergency exit row. And there's a small fee, to sit in that seat if you select it when you were buying your ticket. And what that money doesn't buy you a seat, but it guarantees you that you're going to be in that particular seat if you want it. She was very upset that she had spent all this money to have an emergency exit row, and the gate agents had the gall to give away the other ones that no one was sitting in for free. And she was really upset that other people got to sit in emergency exit rows. I tried to explain to her that, the price you paid is to guarantee you a seat in that emergency exit row. And you don't want to educate them too much because then it just comes across as being sort of defensive. And so I let it be. I said, my name is Steve, and if there's any way I can make this flight more pleasurable, please just let me know. And I kind of turned on my charm a little bit more, a little higher. And so I was super friendly, as I usually am, with our guests as they came on board. And pretty much everyone that passes by has like a great pair of eyeglasses or a cool haircut or they're carrying a pillow and a blanket and a teddy bear and they're prepared for a nap. There's always something to say, a comment to make, pleasant and positive. Hey, hi, And after boarding was complete, I'm walking through the cabin, doing my checks, and this woman, I looked over and I said, hey, how you doing? She goes, better. Thank you for your attitude. I don't know what was going on with her that day. She may have other reasons why she was really unpleasant. But my attitude towards other guests, not even her, but my attitude towards other people around her totally changed her mood and made the whole flight much more pleasant for both of us. So as a flight attendant to be, recognize that you're going to have to wear a lot of psychology hats and be an actor and a circus clown, not a circus clown, but the guy at the circus with the hat, whatever. You'll wear a lot of hats as a flight attendant, but it ended up being a really nice experience. So we got into Newark this morning about 4:30 and then got to a hotel. And this hotel has one of the best breakfasts. I mean, I'm not sure if I've had a better breakfast. It was unbelievable, really fantastic. And it's complimentary for us in this hotel. But I always tip. I try to leave a couple bucks for the waitress and the people who are cleaning up after us. And I try to keep some singles for our van drivers as well, because I know they don't get a lot of money. And I'll tell you, lifting flight attendants' luggage up and out of those trucks sometimes is a lot of work. So I tip them. I got here, I popped a Benadryl after breakfast because I still have a hard time falling asleep during layovers that are across the country and early in the morning or super late. I really have a hard time just falling asleep right away on cue. So I took a 4-hour nap. I woke up kind of groggy, as you'd imagine, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go out. It's really cold here. It's probably in the 20s. But I opened the curtains and I thought, you know, it would be a real shame to spend a 24-hour layover in my hotel room. I've done it, but in Detroit, where there's nothing around us, you know. So I got dressed in some cute little clothes I have with me in my bag, and went into the city. I took the PATH train into the World Trade Center, walked around the World Trade Center, saw those wells or their pools or whatever they're called. It just, you know, I've seen them before, but now that I'm a flight attendant and I kind of understand what, have an idea of what the flight attendants on board those 4 aircraft must have gone through on 9/11. It's really staggering, and I have a penchant for crying in public. And so I stood there weeping. While everyone's around me trying to take selfies and stuff, I'm standing there with, like, you know, and I'm an ugly crier. I get all red. It's not good. But then I collected myself and I walked up through Soho and I walked through Soho because I'm broke. But it was great to window shop, and I went all the way up into Greenwich Village onto Christopher Street and saw some little shops up there. Had lunch, and I made my way back over to the World Trade Center and hopped on the train. And now I'm back in my hotel room. I've got enough time to, I plugged in my dinner. I'll show you that in a moment. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And I'm going to eat dinner, get cozy, watch some TV, watch some YouTube videos, and then hop in bed. I have to wake up at about 3:30 in the morning. We have a 4:40 van time for a 5:40 show time at the airport. And we're flying back to Vegas. It's been the easiest trip. It's technically a 4-day, but the first day we were canceled. We had 2 flights. They were canceled because of a mechanical, and one other flight was canceled. So we had 5 legs in the course of 4 days, super easy. It was an 18-hour credit trip. But that's turned into 2 legs. We flew to Newark. We're flying back tomorrow. Easy as pie. And my crew. You know what's crazy is you'll meet people, you'll fly with someone, you'll fly up in front, and there'll be people working in back, and you may only meet and interact 4 or 5 times during a trip. You'll sit in the galley and chat, you know, share some stories and talk about other people. Gossip. Try not to gossip. It's not good. And somehow you'll make friends with only having spoken for an hour, tops maybe. Because I think we all have a common language. I think as flight attendants in the same airline especially, we do the same thing. We do exactly the same thing. We all face the same stories every day. And so we have such a common language that I think it's really super easy to make friends, not just acquaintances. I really consider some of the people I've flown with friends. You know, when I see them in the crew room, we hug, hey, hi, and big hugs everywhere. You know, I'm 48. I've met a lot of people in my life, and very few times I've recognized these people as being friends after such a short time. It's wonderful. I don't travel with my own coffee mug, although I might soon, because this has been nice drinking out of this. I went to Papyrus because everything's on sale, and I picked up this mug. And in picking up this mug, I knocked over probably a dozen. They're all stacked on top of each other like a little pyramid. I'm not sure why, right by the front of the door. I knocked like a dozen over, and like I think maybe 6 or 8 of them shattered on the ground. I felt awful. I bought 2 mugs, 2 different S's, just out of guilt. So I'm using one now. Oh, I wanted to show you my dinner. These are 2 things, real quick. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking, and I'm not sure why you're still watching this, but all I'm doing is rambling. I have 2 things I want to show you guys. If you aren't flight attendants and you want to pick up a couple things that will be handy, either during training or in your first few months of flying, or if you are a flight attendant, you already know these things. It's an eBags lunch bag, which I'll show you in a second, and a Hot Logic Mini. So let me grab those and I'll show you what they look like. Ta-da! One day, I'm back. One day I'm going to buy some editing software or figure out how to edit. But if you get to know me in person, I almost never edit anything I say. So these videos are very much like having a conversation with me anyway. This is, I'll show you the lunch bag first. So this is the eBags lunch bag and some caffeine because we have an early flight tomorrow. So this is an eBags lunch bag. It's pretty, somehow it seems really big on camera. I've seen other people hold it up. It holds like a 3-day, really nicely, food for a 3-day. I usually get 2 or 3 containers of food, a couple Ziploc bags full of little scrambled egg cups. I make in muffin tins. I can tuck a fair amount of food in there, but I really like a lot of those ice packs in there because I get really kind of skeeved out when food sits around for too long, especially on trips like this where we don't have a refrigerator. I guess I could call and have one delivered, but it just seems awkward to have them deliver a whole refrigerator to my room when I can just easily put ice in there from the ice machine. But I love my eBags lunch bag. Eventually, I do want to get a larger bag because I anticipate going on longer trips, and I want to put more food in those because it's definitely economical to pack our own lunch. Magecto, I think it is, makes a bigger lunch bag that I really want. It's supposed to be like 50 bucks. That's strong bags, but they're really expensive, and I'm not making those bucks yet. But so I'm gonna get a larger lunch bag next time. But this is the coolest thing ever, and I know this is probably not the first time you've seen it, but my Hot Logic Mini. It looks like a little lunch bag. It's insulated. This is a container that's, it's pretty hot, of puttanesca. It's an Italian pasta dish with lots of olives and anchovies. I've been really cooking a lot lately. As a new flight attendant, funds are not readily available, so I'm being pretty frugal, but finding some really delicious recipes, and this puttanesca is fantastic. But this is the Hot Logic Mini, so there's a little hot plate kind of thing that gets really hot. I've learned not to touch this. It gets super hot, and the food gets to be like 180 degrees or something like that. So it's not hot enough to boil or burn, but hot enough that it's hot. It's fantastic. So you just plug it in, let it do its thing while you take a shower, take a nap, hang out, watch Facebook, whatever, and you've got a really hot meal. I love it for layovers, especially like this room where there's not a microwave. But, you know, I had a 4-hour sit in Los Angeles. And our gates in Los Angeles aren't terribly fancy, and there's not a lot of options for great food. So I had this with me. It folds kind of flat and sticks inside the top compartment of my lunch bag, so I don't have to carry this around, just like separate. But I plugged it in. I had to fight for an outlet. Plugged it in, and I'd say 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later, I had a really hot, delicious meal. And it has really been a lifesaver. I eventually want to get another one because I'm a hoarder. If I like something, I want like 10 of them. But I love my Hot Logic Mini. I love my eBags lunch bag. I do want that magenta one, but later when I can afford to just throw money at a bag. I think that's it. This is my third video, and this one is one that I didn't really have a topic so much, but this has been kind of a snapshot of a day in the life of a flight attendant. It's nice. I love it. And gosh, there's so many things I want to say. I'll save them for some other videos, future videos. If you have any questions, I'll beg, drop a question down there. You know, anything about being a new flight attendant or flight attendant on reserve. My next video is probably going to be about how to survive training, what I did to prepare for training, and how I got through training. So if you have questions regarding that or anything else, feel free. I'd eventually like to do a little question and answer video. That would be fun. Until then, I'll say thank you very much for spending some time with me, and fly safe. I'll talk to you later. Bye.